Hi everyone, it's Renis the Saddler here. Today I would love to show you some tricks and tips how to maintain your saddle and actually every part of your tack that's made of leather, including bridles, girths, boots, and etc. This is something you can do at home when maybe the weather is not so nice outside, or it's just that Saturday morning when you don't want to go to the stable just yet. Yet, it will help to keep your equipment nice, clean, healthy, and long-lasting. The leather as a material, it's actually alive, and to prolong its life, because it's a natural material, you really have to take care of it. And the more careful you will do it, and the more attention you will pay to it, the longer your saddle will live. And if you have a brand new saddle that costed you a lot of money and it's something you really love, you want to make sure that it will serve you years and years and years and years. If you're not paying attention to the proper cleaning of your equipment, the leather starts to age very badly. What will happen? It will develop cracks. It will lose its color, it will lose its depth of the color, it will become brittle, dry, and as for every material, it has a breaking point, and when you reach it, there is no way back. So it's very important to do it quite often, so the leather is fresh, soft, and nice all the time. This is something you have to pay attention when you are buying yourself a used equipment, used saddle, used bridle, or something. If the previous owner hasn't maintained it very well, you can do whatever you want, but if it's past that breaking point where there are already cracks and brittles in the leather, even the best cleaning and caring solutions won't help it. So just when you get something used, or you have some old saddle that's been laying around in your barn for years and years, and now you think, okay, I want to ride in this saddle, it can be too late actually. Before we actually start to clean the saddles and our equipment, I would love to explain you a little bit about the leather differences. So there are two basic types of leather that's been used in the industry. The first one is your basic cowhide. So as the name suggests, that's the leather that's made of grown-up cows, and it's being used in the most basic products of our industry. You will find it in your cheap bridles, girths, your basic saddles, and it's distinguishable by its hardness. It's most likely polished and smooth, and it will definitely be a bit hard, thus it's very hard wearing, and it will last ages and ages and ages. And the other leather type is calfskin. It's used in more expensive tack and equipment, like this Amerigo saddle. You will find it in the more luxurious bridles, girths, and other equipment. The difference is that the calfskin is way more softer and way more fragile than the cowhide. Thus, the calfskin requires extra attention and extra care because it's a very fragile leather. The calfskin is also non-slippery and it provides a lot of grip for the rider. One aspect that will definitely damage your calfskin, even if you will clean and maintain it every day, is using riding breeches or riding leggings with silicone grip material. This material definitely will damage the leather, and since the calfskin is so grippy, you actually don't need any extra grip on your riding pants because it's provided by this type of leather. It's also very important where you keep and store your equipment. And this is particularly tricky with stables and saddle rooms and all that stuff, because a lot of them are cold and moist. If your saddle room has moisture in it, the leather will really quickly develop a fungus on it. And it's a bit of a mess to get rid of it, and you don't want that. So make sure that your tack room is dry, nice, and clean. Well, there's always that question, how often and how much do you need to clean your saddle? I would highly recommend you to actually clean it after every riding, but to take care of the leather by feeding it and make it moist and nice at least once in 2 weeks or once a week or something like that. So if you're doing this once or twice in a year, I'm sorry, but it's just not enough. I know that some of you guys are also using the saddles and other equipment that is not made from leather, but is just synthetic, such as this Wintec saddle. And then I should say that it's your lucky day actually, because literally you have to do, well, almost nothing. All you need to keep this sort of saddle nice and clean is just a sponge, a little bit of water, and maybe a little bit of soap. That's all you need. Just to take away horsehair, dirt, and that's it. Also, please do not use any of leather care on your synthetic saddle, because it won't make it any softer or smoother. It will just create a huge mess and saddle will be nasty, sticky, and not nice at all. This is just a plastic and it won't absorb any of a leather conditioner and other materials. So just a cloth, a bit of warm water, maybe a bit of soap, and off you go. So we should always start our maintenance process with an actual cleaning. And for that you need the special product that is designed only for cleaning. Such as I'm using this Quick Clean from NAF, but you can get whatever you want. You can get them in your favorite tack shop. Please be aware that you need an exact product just for cleaning. If it says that it cleans and conditions the leather, well, basically it does just one or another, because those are two different processes. We want to clean the leather because we want to remove an excess dirt, sweat and fat from it, and also to open the pores that are in the leather, those little holes, to allow other products to soak in and feed the leather. And if we're just applying the conditioner on the leather, which is not cleaned yet, we're just basically creating another layer of fat, and that product won't get penetrated into the leather. Another thing, I highly recommend to use these. Your basic rubber gloves. My hands are already used to all those products and materials, but if you're not doing this every second day, your skin most likely will get irritated, brittle, and you don't want that. Those products actually are quite strong and they won't bite your arms off. But if you want to keep your hands nice and pretty, consider using rubber gloves, and after the procedure maybe use some cream on your hands to soften the skin. About the cleaning itself, the procedure, I think all of us have been there before, and it's just a really simple process. Use the spray on the leather, then wipe the excess material off. You can use it on all of the saddle, on the top of the saddle, on the seat, on the flaps, on the panels, on the girth straps. Remember to clean it thoroughly. Don't forget those places. Don't forget to clean under the flaps, and also here between the panels in the gullet and everywhere else where excess dirt, sweat and horsehair has been hiding. If your saddle is really dirty and you want to give it a good deep clean, you may consider using a saddle soap. I don't have it here with me right now, but you can also get it in the tack shop. Well, basically the procedure is as follows. You have to have yourself a bucket or a bowl of quite warm water, and then basically use it as a regular soap. Mild and hot water will help to open up the pores in the leather better and to extract all the dirt and fat out of the leather. So yeah, if it's really dirty and nasty, consider using a saddle soap. The next step after the cleaning is optional, but I highly recommend you to do it if you have a brand new saddle that's straight out of the box and you want to break it in correctly so it's nice, soft and smooth. Or if you have a really old saddle somewhere in your stable, the leather is really hard and brittle and cracking, but you somehow want to bring it back to life. This product is called a Neatsfoot oil, and it's also known as the saddle oil. You can also get it in your favorite tack shop. The procedure is really simple. It really is an oil, it's in a liquid form, and to apply it you either need just a basic sponge. Try to get yourself a soft one as possible and do not use the hard part. Or also you can take some brush from the painter's store or something. So the procedure of applying oil is actually super simple. You grab your oil, your sponge, apply some oil onto your sponge, and then apply to your saddle. You can immediately see that it's becoming super shiny, like fat and soaked in oil. But if the saddle is dry, like this one is, you can immediately see how quickly the oil disappears into your saddle. You can repeat this process 2 or 3 times, and when you will see that the spots and patches of oil are not disappearing so quickly, then I think you're done, and it's good enough. Also, don't forget to apply the oil everywhere. Under those flaps, on your flaps, and literally everywhere on the saddle. Maybe do not apply it on the girth straps, because those are made from a different leather and they won't soak up this oil as much as the rest of the saddle, and then they will be really slippery when you will try to pull up your girth. When you're going through your everyday cleaning routine, to apply the oil every time it's too much. I would say if you're riding with your saddle like regularly and using it all the time, use some oiling once in some 3 months or something like that. When you're breaking in a new saddle or trying to bring back to life a really old one, then you can use it, I don't know, once in a week for 1 month or something, and to see how the leather softens and how it's just getting more gentle and more smooth. Also, of course, if there's too much oil, well, it can damage your saddle a little bit. The parts of the leather can start to glue off from one from each other, and that's something you don't want. So just be careful and use common sense. And one last notice about the oiling the saddle. If you have a brand new saddle that's in every different color than black, light brown, dark brown, etc., be aware that oiling and actually like taking care of leather in general will definitely make your leather darker. This is not a defect, this is not the bad leather, this is not something that shops will accept as a return. This is a normal process. Your leather will become darker and more full and deeper with color once you will start to use it and actually oil it. So this is completely normal. And the final step, once we're done with cleaning and oiling the leather, is actually to feed it some more and to create a bit of a protective layer that will protect the leather from elements such as rain, snow, mud, and etc. For that, you need some sort of balsam or leather conditioner. As I said it at the beginning, please do not buy those products that are saying that they clean and condition the leather, because the cleaning solution gets rid of all the fats and the other stuff, and the balsam or conditioner, it actually feeds the leather with a little bit of fat, so those two can't be physically combined. I'm using again this from Neff because, well, I'm working with this brand for years and years. I love it, and you can again use whichever product you like. Your tech shop will definitely recommend you something good. With this one is actually quite simple. Take the sponge that's included. Most of them have the sponges included, or get yourself your own one. And same as with an oil, apply some film, some layer with this balsam, gently massage and work it into the leather and create this protective film.
again, go through the whole parts of the saddle, top, bottom, on the flaps, under the flaps, like everywhere, again, except the girth straps. I'm not recommending it, they will become slippery. When you applied your conditioner or balsam, or basically it is the same, I would recommend you to leave your saddle for an hour or something. Because it's a more solid state than oil, it will protrude into the leather slower than oil. Once you have left your saddle for the conditioner to soak in, after 1 hour, after a cup of tea, you will come back and see that most of the product is already in the leather, but there will still be some little patches of fat and patches of conditioner remaining on the leather. You can just grab your cloth, or you can also use a natural sheepskin glove. You can also get them in the tack shops. And with the cloth, just take the excess leftovers of the conditioner off, and you can give the leather a little bit of buffing, like massage it a little bit and apply a tiny bit of pressure. That should give it a final touch, and your leather should look like this. Smooth, monotone, and it actually should feel not sticky or covered with oils and fat, but it should feel nice, smooth and grippy. Especially on those calfskin leathers, you will have a lot of grip while sitting in the saddle if you clean and maintain your saddle properly. So those 3 simple steps of cleaning, oiling and conditioning your leather concludes this little tutorial of how to keep your saddle in a good condition. Just remember to do it quite regularly. Keep an eye on your leather condition. You can use the same principles on your all leather items and accessories, riding boots, bridles, girths, etc. Thank you for watching, guys, and if you have any questions or ideas, you can leave them in the comments, and see you next time.